That's a wild promo, that one, I swear to God. But I tell you what, we were just reminiscing because we did just listen to Catherine Britt's song there, Charlestown Road, and Darren remembers Campbell Terrace.
Campbell Terrace, yes, that was it, right next to the train line, chicka-chickering, and people used to come over and they'd go, how come you don't get kept awake? But it's what you used to. You know, I grew up next to a railway line and I never heard trains. So.
Well, there you go, and Charlestown Road was next to a busy street.
There it is, indeed. Now, speaking of Catherine Britt, the brand new album, Always Never Enough, is out at the moment, and I can tell you what, it is a fabulous piece of writing and a great piece of production, and Catherine joins us on the line now. G'day, Catherine, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, guys. How are you?
Look, we had a decent old drive. We were doing the right thing as parents last night and picking up our daughter after a fun day on Exhibition Wednesday in Brisbane. And we put the CD in and decided we're going to sit down and just enjoy the drive and enjoy the CD and go right through it. Wow, there is some really, really deep writing in this album, Catherine.
There is, and thank you very much for listening to the album. I really appreciate that. Yeah, look, it's a little bit, hopefully, better than the last, and that's sort of my goal, I guess, is to keep getting better and keep sort of hopefully improving songwriting and all that sort of stuff. So I'm very, very proud of this record, more than anything I've ever done in my whole life. So I'm so glad you guys enjoy it.
Tracy came and saw me the other day and said when she did the preview of the album, first of all, went through it, had a quick listen through it without the in-depth listen, and came back and she said, oh my God, she said, you got to listen to Sally Bones. This is just, you got to tell us the story behind Sally Bones. How did this come about? Is it a true story?
Sort of based on a true story. I mean, obviously that happens all the time, but I have some Aboriginal family that live out in Alice Springs, and my cousin, Bess Price, who is actually running for government at the moment, and she's been on Q&A, and she's just a brilliant woman and does all these really incredible things for for trying to change things, I guess, out there, and does all this really great stuff for child abuse campaigning and stuff like that. And just hanging out with them and hearing some of the stories that they've told me throughout my life has just changed me forever and, inspired that song. So, yeah.
Well, I had to listen to, because normally when we get albums, we sort of just listen to the first maybe minute of each song just to get a quick idea, and then you go back later on and go through them. I couldn't put the album down, but one thing that really struck me when we speak to a lot of singers-songwriters or songwriter-singers is that a lot of these come from personal experiences. And when I got to the end of this album, all I wanted to do was just grab Catherine Britt and give you a hug. It's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. Well, look, that's life. Life isn't easy, and it's, there are times that it's brilliant, but there's also stuff that you have to go through, and it's all a part of growing up, I guess. I'm 27 now, and I've had a pretty crazy life, traveling the world and getting to be a musician since I was a kid, so it's definitely brought on some stories and, depression and all that sort of stuff. I've been through a lot, and it's nice to kind of have music, I guess, to use to kind of get all that out, because I know everybody's can relate to, down times in their life. So, yeah.
When I was listening to, and I had to re-listen to the song straight again, so straight on to repeat, I listened to A Few Good Years. And when I'm going through it, we're sort of debating where are we at, and I'm thinking from, fortunately for me, I don't know that I've certainly been in situations similar, but I'm thinking, is it someone has committed suicide? Is it someone that is schizophrenia? Is it someone that has death? Or is it, someone's left? I think from all of these different things, someone could relate a different story to every one of them.
Yeah, look, and that's the beauty of music, I guess. You kind of put yourself in the song and make it your own story, and that's what I love about it, and a good few years is, it doesn't really matter what, I guess, the story is behind it. The point is that, you can kind of relate yourself to it and try and figure it out, and that's the beauty of it.
But, I mean, this album is something that you truly, truly have to be proud of, because every single song, there is something in there that anybody can relate to, and it's one of those albums where you just cannot put it down. Seriously, we just can't put it down. And we've got listeners that have rung up and said, we've just got a hold of the Catherine Britt album, and you can't put it down. So it really, really is a feather in your cap. It's probably one of the, I would truly go out and say this is probably one of the best albums I have ever listened to.
Oh my God, wow, thank you so much. Look, that just means the absolute world to me, and the reaction so far has been incredible. I mean, it's been out not even a week, and it's just been, you know, incredible on iTunes, and just, you know, pre-sales were really great, and it's been amazing, people's reaction more than anything, getting, you know, the Facebook messages and all that sort of stuff. It's very touching, so thank you. I'm really stoked that you guys love it.
And I'll tell you what, we did give, last week I did sneak in Mind Your Own Business. Every woman in the world could play that to somebody at some time.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's my song to the music business, because I get a phone call at least, I don't know, once a week with somebody saying, Catherine did this, she did that, and it's like, oh God, shut up. You know, you're like, leave me alone. But yeah, look, I guess that's kind of part of being in the public eye a lot. But even when you're not, I mean, that's just what happens. People, you know, stick their nose in other people's business, and you know, that's kind of human nature, I guess.
I can just see the sales of that one there going off its brain from people. Instead of saying anything to anybody, they don't have to. Just send them an iTunes. Send them track 9.
That's right. Give them a present from me.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're speaking with Catherine Britt, and we're talking about her brand new album, Always Never Enough. And you've heard the recommendation there from Tracy. It certainly is an outstanding album. Catherine, one of the things that I was listening to it from there, and obviously you said you're 27, but the maturity of the songwriting, is that something that comes with more collaboration, or is it putting more albums together, all touring around the world? Where do you think your maturity in your songwriting has come? Is it just a combination, or what would you say?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Look, I mean, I think I've got a long way to go when it comes to songwriting. I'm always trying to push myself, and I listen to some of my heroes, John Prine, and I'm actually on tour with Tim Rogers at the moment. And I mean, he's one of the best songwriters we've got here in Australia, and I feel like, you know, so not worthy to compare to people like that. So it's, you know, I feel like I still have a lot more growing to do when it comes to songwriting, but I feel like also every album, you know, it gets better and better, hopefully. And look, I've been writing since I was, I don't know, like 9 years old, and I've always loved it. It's always just been my outlet, and something that I can't get enough of. So I've done a lot of co-writing when I lived over in America. This album is there's only 2 co-writes on there, and they're both with Bill Chambers. So the rest is just me by myself, and kind of getting back to when I started. You know, I didn't start out co-writing. I didn't even know how to. You know, it was very, very scary, but I definitely learned a lot from it. But I'm enjoying writing on my own at the moment.
Did you see the album when you put it together? Did you see it as a theme album? Because there is a theme running through it in some respect, isn't there?
Yeah, look, not really. When I started writing for this project, I just started writing, and I didn't really concentrate on anything in particular. It's a lot of people are saying, you know, oh gosh, you've gotten a bit political and blah blah, and I'm like, oh, I haven't by no means a political agenda. I just was taking from things that I was seeing, you know, living in the world, and I guess those things affect me more now, watching the news and things like that, being out in the world. I guess you kind of take it on the older you get, you know, the more it affects you. So there's a song on there about the refugees, and you know, it's not preaching or trying to change people's opinions. It's just a story, and that's the beauty of songwriting. You can just tell people stories, and people can take from it what they need, you know.
Now, will you be obviously out and about selling the album and touring? What's in the upcoming 6 to 12 months for Catherine Britt?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm on the road with Tim Rogers and his band at the moment for the next few months, and it's just amazing. One of the best tours I've ever been on. He's so talented, and feel very lucky to, you know, get to play with him every night and hear his music. So that's kind of the next 3 months or whatever. And then we've got lots of things in the pipeline, but nothing obviously to be announced yet. But we're just concentrating on Australia and touring around here probably for the next 6 months. So yeah, looking forward to it. So good to be home.
Well, we got some big excitement on Facebook when we said we were going to be talking to Catherine Britt, so everyone's tuning in from there. So we're looking forward to it. A very busy night ahead for us. So what have you got, sorry?
Well, we're going to go out. We did play, which one did we play? Charlestown Road first up. So we want to go out with Always Never Enough, which is the single that's been released off the album. Tell us a little bit about that one before we let you go.
Absolutely. Yeah, look, it's pretty, I kind of allowed myself to get all Adele just on one song. I just wanted to dedicate one song to my pain and anger towards my ex-relationship, and you know, I'm loving that everyone's really enjoying the song, because I don't think my ex-boyfriend does very much, but,
well,
you know, it's
that's what they're good for, though.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You don't date a songwriter. You know, it's only going to come out in song. But yeah, look, it's been great that everyone's loving that song, and it just seemed like the appropriate first single. So thank you.
Well, as a massive hit, there could be 10% for inspiration. You know.
Absolutely not.
You know what? He needs to listen to track 9.
Yeah,
Mind your own business. Exactly.
There you go.
And because we're moving up the charts pretty quick with that one at the moment. So, Catherine, thank you very much for joining us tonight. This album is just absolutely going to do you so proud. You should be proud of yourself. We're proud of it. We'll give it plenty of spins here at 101.5. So how about you introduce the single that you've just released off it for our listeners?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, and thanks for tuning in, everybody. This is my brand new single, Always Never Enough.